So we're going to try something new. At the end of every week, I'm going to do a swing analysis, possibly about the tournament winner or just something that I find interesting that I think would help your golf game out. Okay, and Kirk obviously won this last weekend, Sentry Tournament of Champions in Kapalua in Maui. And what's so interesting here, this is him hitting balls left-handed. And he's quite active. He played golf at the end of this last offseason for 2 straight weeks, only left-handed. The reason why I think this could help you is, here he is right-handed. He averages 296 off the tee. His scoring average last year was 70. And then here he is left-handed, okay? And he said his best score ever left-handed is 82. So just imagine, this is you most likely on the right? We're probably not a tour level player. We're shooting somewhere maybe in the low 90s, low 80s, somewhere in that zone. We don't know how far he's hitting this ball, but I'm guessing it's probably about 245 total distance, 220 carry with the left-handed golf swing, right? And, there's things we can't see during a swing analysis that, as far as his ground reaction forces, his angle of attack, the spin rate. But there's definitely some things that I think we can take note of from video as to why we've got, a top 20 player in the world here on the right. And then same golfer here that's kind of just struggling to break 80. And when you first glance, he doesn't have a bad golf swing left-handed, right? It doesn't look bad at all. So what's the difference, right? So I'm going to kind of point out a couple things here that I see, right? Just going through 2D video of what could possibly be different, okay? And just picture, there's a good chance this person on the right is swinging more like how you would swing, right? If you're hitting at that distance and shooting those types of scores. Okay, so watch early on in the takeaway. You notice a couple things, right? You notice how we can see his glove hand very fully here with the left-handed golf swing, and the glove hand is hidden over here on the right. He hits it. He's got 112 club head speed on the right. Kevin Kisner was describing his golf swing, during this last event that he won. He hits this slinging hook, and he said it was almost robotic, right? And a lot of that is because the club face is very strong or more closed in the takeaway, okay? So you notice the difference in the glove hand on the left. And then there's a big difference in the tilt of his forearms, okay? Now that's really important here. You notice how his forearms are more level on this one. So the club, right, in the left-handed golf swing, the one where it's not going as far, he's slowly rolling this open, and he's beginning to come a little bit up and out of his posture, which I see so many times, which is not going to really give us that strong draw that he's hitting over here in his, in his tour level world beater golf swing, tour winning golf swing. Okay? The end result, as he nears the top of his backswing, you can really start to see him coming out of his posture. Okay? So if I took a line here and I measured just, say, from the glove hand down to the shoulder, that's a 29-degree angle there. Okay? We go over here to the right-handed golf swing, the one that we would all love to emulate and copy more so. Glove hand down to the tip of his shoulder, and we've got a 47-degree angle. Okay? So definitely a large difference there in his ability to kind of create that stronger face and more shoulder tilt, right? So what you would feel here if you were the golfer on the left, you would definitely feel a lot more load and stretch. The one on the right is rolling the face ever so slightly and then coming up and out of his posture. Some of that can kind of be seen there. You notice how the lead heel is lifting off the ground with the lefty swing. That's not in and of itself bad. Just the way he's doing it, it's bad, right? As he comes out of his posture there, we really start to see a much flatter golf swing. So the amount of load and stress is going to be totally different on the body. So I've got some tape here to illustrate kind of some of what we're talking about, the differences between the tour level swing and his lefty swing. So imagine if I had a shelf here at a dress, right? And I've got just a little ball here as my golf club. So he's almost pushing this down underneath the shelf as he goes back, right? Compared to the lefty swing, where he's lifting off of it ever so slightly. So you see how that ball is lifting up over the shelf instead of really creating this stretch. And as I do this, my feet and my legs are engaging the ground as I'm pushing. From this down the line view, right, you still see the shelf there, and you notice the tape on my arms, right? See how there's more inclination? There's more of a downward tilt to that tape compared to when I'm lifting off. You notice how the tape levels off there, right? The tape is more level to the ground. My shoulders are more level to the ground. And then his trail arm would collapse and then throw. So really important, a lot of hitting a long drive occurs right here in this position. I already feel loaded through my glutes, through the ground, through my trunk and my abs, right into this position, okay? So I'm creating load and tilt to really hit the golf ball farther. So, you know, from the top, right, once he gets to that flatter position, right, we can see kind of by that, the red line drawn there, there's this collapsing of the arms. So you notice the structure in his trail arm is definitely starting to overfold and overbend right here at the top, okay? So in the tour level swing, when he gets to the top, his left arm bends a little bit. The right arm bends probably more than tour average, but notice the difference. You see how big the window is between the arms here? There's still some right arm extensor action. He's still engaging that tricep to have some structure at the top, even though the club goes a little past parallel. He's got a little longer, little softer swing at the top. This is different here. You notice the window between his arms here really starts to fold. I'm talking about the daylight scene here. You see how small that daylight is. That's just because that trail arm is probably folding 5, 10, 15 more degrees than it should. And that's what I find so interesting there, because a lot of you will videotape your swing and it doesn't look bad. But we're really just talking about degrees of difference, right? From that takeaway position of the face kind of rolling open, flattening the shoulder turn, coming out of posture, overfolding the arms, okay? Talking very small things. Now, obviously, some of it, you know, he's practiced 10,000 hours over here on the left, and he does this every year. He plays golf left-handed. He plays with a group of guys. This week, he did it the most, or, you know, this last offseason, he did it the most. He did it 2 straight weeks. He had clubs built from Callaway exactly to his specs, so he's taking it pretty seriously. So the end result of that backswing is, notice this kind of folding and casting motion from the top. You can see him heaving his arms there because the trail arm folded too much, the turn was too flat and not loaded, and there's this arm throw from the top. Okay, that's why the club head speed is not going to be as fast, and he's not going to hit that same robotic slinging draw that he is going to over here. So there's a lot better storing of those levers, right? The whole power package of his lead arm and trail arm, there's better storing coming down to the ball where we know we're going to get an inside-out club path and a face that's slightly closed to that path, and we are going to be just roasting a nice slinging draw there. But very subtle, the differences, right? I think that's so remarkable here. All right, we got a ball that's probably going 245 with a cut, never broke an 80, lacks a little bit of power, right? If you played golf with him, you really wouldn't remember. There wouldn't be anything of note. And then here we've got one of the best players in the world.
Hey, it's your coach, Zach Allen here. And when it comes to the golf swing, I've seen and tried it all. But nothing is proven as effective as the concept I'm about to share with you now. It is the single most powerful piece of golfing advice I've ever come across. In fact, I would go so far as to call it a magic move. Since I don't have the time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part web class where I teach you exactly how to put it to use in your game. Nothing held back. I call it my Magic Move Training Series, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. You won't find these videos anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll send you the first session right away. Okay, let's go ahead and get back to that lesson.
So definitely something interesting to gain from that. My biggest thing I would say would be to check your takeaway, okay? Make sure as you take the golf club back, you don't want to be going down the path of least resistance, your takeaway should be feeling slightly uncomfortable even by this point here because of two things, right? Some of that early forearm tilt, that's setting up the shoulder tilt, and the body is really starting to load and engage, right? The golfer here, the lefty, he's coming up and out of that uncomfortable sensation. He's letting the arms fold and letting the body raise up, okay? So there's less physical stress on the body, but the end result of that is going to be this casting or throwing, and he's not going to get near as much club head speed or as strong a ball flight. So remember, it's good to be uncomfortable, right? Early in that takeaway, we're really feeling a stretch and load into the glutes, right? Into that trail hip, into the abs, staying in our posture. And then as he gets to the top here, he's making sure to not overfold that trail arm. So he's still got some width. He's still got some extension. And if you could get in his body right here, you would definitely feel a lot of activation through his torso, through his trunk, through the extension in his arms. And then especially as he starts down there, there's a very athletic move coming down. We're not getting that kind of weak throw of the arms from the top. That club kind of bounces, overfolds, and then throws out coming down. So a big difference there, right? Same guy, but just we're talking degrees, sensations, something so small, stuff that I know that could help your golf swing. So next time you get out there, right, see if we can kind of get a little stronger club face, a little more athletically engaged takeaway, and see that if it doesn't help, number one, strengthen your ball flight to be able to hit these just going, slinging draws like he's doing over here. Or just vice versa, maybe we get a boost in club head speed, a little more confident athletic move off the next tee, right, off the next tee shot you hit.
I hope these things help you out. They've definitely helped my students here in person. If I've ever helped you out in the past, I would love it if you could like or subscribe to my channel. It really helps keep momentum going. It helps people seeing more of my videos. You'll be able to see my videos right when they come out. And if you're really interested in more stuff or more topics that are about shallowing the club, I have a few different ones that relate to other sports, like baseball, like cricket, like hockey. So that video is right here. Go ahead and take a look. They've got thousands and thousands of views. They've already helped tons of golfers start to shallow that center of mass. Have a great day.